Hey everyone, I'm Laura Gadenik. I'm an astrologer and a therapist, and I'm here to give you the therapeutic astrology for the weeks of April 21st through May 4th, 2025. All right, so today, Sunday the 20th, we had a Sun square Mars moment. So Mars is a planet about action, friction, anger, aggression, conflict. So there might have been some feelings of irritation or at best a desire to take action on something or to finally do something. But we're kind of in this what's called a T-square energy for a couple of days. So what's happening is Mars just made a square to the sun, or I guess more accurately, the sun just made a square to Mars. And then on Wednesday, the 23rd, the sun is going to square Pluto. And then on Saturday, the 26th, Mars is going to oppose Pluto. So we're kind of in this energy all week. And it's a little bit, I wouldn't say a little bit, a lot bit frustrating, irritating, conflict driven potentially. And I'm not necessarily saying that there's going to be conflict, there's going to be friction. It's just that these are the archetypes of what the planets represent. Mars represents friction, anger, conflict. Pluto represents power dynamics, power, wealth, things that are lurking beneath the surface that will be revealed or come up to the surface. Usually when planets make aspects to Pluto, there's something being revealed, whether it's something really beautiful and good and golden, or something kind of rotten and yucky and like icky. So we have this dynamic going on all week. Sun, Pluto, and Sun, Pluto, and Mars. So one of the more positive things that this energy could represent is the energy to finally take action on something, break through something, break a habit, just taking decisive, powerful action. We just got out of a Mars retrograde and Cancer, and then Mars in Cancer in general is a little bit more timid and scared and cautious than a Mars in Leo. Mars in Leo is very bold and brave and look at me, courageous. So there might have been something that we've been needing to take action on or been wanting to take action on, but have been a little scared or nervous. And this might be an energy to help us just kind of do it, just make the change, take a risk, pull the plug. So, and that could be positive overall. It could also have consequences as well, right? Like all of our actions and decisions do. So, but it is kind of this energy of like doing something. So we are also completing a cycle. This is the third and final opposition between Mars and Pluto, and the sun here squaring both of them is acting as sort of a trigger for this energy. So if you think back to November 3rd of 2024, that was the first time that Mars opposed Pluto. And then the second exact opposition was January 3rd of 2025. So if you can look in your calendar, emails, photos, whatever, and look back to that time frame. What were you thinking about? What were you contemplating? What were you doing? Were there any conflicts going on at that time? Were you thinking about doing something? There might be similar themes wrapping up now. This is kind of the part 3 of a 3-part series going on with this final Mars opposite Pluto aspect. So I just wanted to start off with kind of framing that energy, Mars opposite Pluto, is going to be all week, and it might feel agitating, it might feel irritating. Give yourself a break if you are a little bit more on edge, or give each other grace. Great week to use regulation skills, breathing, regulating emotions, being aware of your body and what you're feeling and why, and being kind to one another, because it can be a bit explosive energy. Okay, so that's one theme going on all week, this first week that I'm covering, April 21st through May 4th. So the other thing going on is, so on Monday, the 21st, which is tomorrow, Saturn makes a conjunction with the North Node. And then on Wednesday, the 23rd, Venus makes a conjunction with the North Node. And then on Thursday, the 24th, Venus and Saturn make a conjunction in Pisces. And so pretty much like all week, we have this Venus, North Node, Saturn energy going on. And we've been sitting with this energy for a while, for several weeks. Venus just stationed direct after having gone retrograde. And whenever a planet stations direct and starts moving forwards again, it's a pretty slow process. It's like this moment in time is being emphasized for some reason. And this moment carries the energy or weight of Venus, Saturn, and North Node in Pisces. So what are those themes? First of all, Venus is a planet about relationships, love, beauty, sex, art, style, aesthetic, collaborations. Saturn is limitations, difficulty, hard work, sustainability, commitment, overcoming hard things. So with these two coming together with the North Node, it could mean a few different things. So I've been saying this in past videos because the themes are very much still similar or still the same. First of all, Saturn could kind of negate Venus, right? So, Saturn says no, or not yet, or stay here, or keep working at something. So keep working at Venus things, relationship, an art project, a collaborative project, getting along with someone or with a group. Or Saturn says not yet. This relationship isn't supposed to work out yet, or, you're not supposed to get that job promotion yet. It's like, keep working at it. It's not quite time. So Saturn can indicate limits, and sometimes limits, while they might feel frustrating in the moment, actually help us down the road. So limits now could indicate success at something 3 years from now. Or Saturn also says, hey, you got to work hard and really put your nose to the task. And, it's not like you're going to be, life is going to serve you easy things on a platter, right? It's like, got to stick with it, practice, dedication, discipline. These are all Saturn themes. The North Node can indicate a point of increase or making something bigger. So we're kind of increasing this sense of needing to stick with something, stay with something to get the reward, which Venus could represent. The North Node might also represent where we're headed or where we're going. This is more of a modern astrology view. So if that's not your jam, totally cool. Just offering it here as a perspective, but maybe we're headed towards something where we just have to have a little bit more patience and tenacity and discipline to get the reward of the relationship, the love, the friendship, the project, the jewel, whatever Venus is. Venus is usually the sweet thing, the pleasurable thing. So then, some other ideas or thoughts on this. Once again, Venus, Saturn, the North Node, like we're maybe moving towards working through difficulty in a relationship, maybe starting relationships that will last for a while. Saturn can indicate that longevity. Maybe it's also time to end a relationship. That's also a possibility in order to create room for something else or something new. Another thing I like to think about is Venus is joy and pleasure and fun, and Saturn is very much like the opposite, like death and depression and isolation. And so it could feel just kind of like a heavy, weighty time. Like maybe things don't feel as sparkly as they usually do, or it feels especially heavy, or you're feeling like a little bit bored or dissatisfied. Um, and, it could indicate that it might be time to move on from something that you've been working on, or maybe someone you've been working with or collaborating with, or someone you're in a relationship with. Or it's time to, as one of my astrology teachers, Adam Ellenboss, talks about, sticking with something. It might be time to commit and dedicate yourself and just kind of make it through the boring, difficult time. Like not everything's going to be sparkly and glittery and like, new relationship energy all the time. Um, just with anything, like in new relationships, there's that like the honeymoon phase, right? Saturn represents more of the like benefits that come from long-term commitment, things that you can only get through time. So something to think about. And we're going to be feeling this energy all week, really, and even part of next week, really, until Venus heads into Aries, which will be on Wednesday the 30th. So basically from the 21st to the 30th, we're continuing to feel this Saturn, Venus, North Node energy in Pisces. Venus in Aries, totally different vibe. So on the one hand, Venus moving into Aries, Venus doesn't do as well in the sign of Aries. She's what's called in detriment. So, there's maybe a little bit more challenge in collaborating and getting along and working together, as Venus, a planet about getting along and working together in relationships, is all about, right? But Venus in Aries, a Mars-ruled sign, is very much so about being independent, bold, going your own way, doing your own thing, not collaborating as much. And there's, of course, perks to every placement, right? Venus in Libra or Venus in Pisces might struggle with like people pleasing, getting along too much, collaborating too much, not going your own way enough. But Venus in Aries is like very bold and courageous and lively. And, this, I think about like people who do like aerial arts, who are really strong, but are like strong and performers. They might be a Venus in Aries person. So yeah, Venus in Aries brings this bolder, more lively energy. And one maybe benefit of Venus moving into Aries is that she's finally away from Saturn. So we should feel that heaviness, that like weighty energies finally start to dissipate a little bit. We've hopefully gained the benefits of working through that. And so now it's just a new phase in life, a new cycle. Venus in Aries, we're being a little bit bolder, more courageous in our collaborations and in our art projects, and maybe being a little bit more direct and straightforward in relationships as well. Okay, so think back to February 4th through March 1st. This was when Venus was initially moving direct in Aries. What was going on then? That was chapter 1. Venus retrograded in Aries from March 1st through the 26th. This is when we were reflecting on and reviewing something about the Aries part of our charts, whatever house that was for you. Those themes you will have been reflecting and reviewing. And now Venus is moving forwards again through Aries, this is called the shadow period, for the next couple weeks. I forgot to put the exact date, but this is like chapter 3 of a 3-part series. And so now we are integrating and starting to take action on the things that we've been reflecting and reviewing. So there might be, some additional relationship snafus that you're working through as Venus travels through Aries, a Mars-ruled sign, Mars representing war and conflict. That's always a possibility. But also there's like less inhibition now that she's not with Saturn anymore, a planet about inhibition and limits. So yeah. On Friday the 2nd, Venus makes a conjunction with Neptune immediately. You'll feel this for a couple of days. This is very dreamy, romantic, idealistic, except for this is happening in Aries, a fire sign, instead of Pisces, a water sign. So this feels like a great day to be very bold and courageous and outwardly expressive and creative in Venus things, relationship, art, love, beauty, all those things, putting ourselves out there, really taking maybe some time to create, vision board. What is it that you desire, dream of? What are you yearning for? This is kind of like a great time to dream and kind of brainstorm. But it's not the most realistic. Sorry about the train noise. This isn't the most realistic aspect, but we don't always need to be realistic. Let's face it. It's kind of boring sometimes. Okay. And then on Sunday the 4th, Pluto stations retrograde at 3 degrees of Aquarius, 3 degrees and 49 minutes, more specifically. And so Pluto retrograding through these early degrees of Aquarius suggests that there's going to be a several month-long review period over your Aquarius house, whatever those themes are for you. And Pluto tends to deepen our interest in something, in whatever house it's traveling through in your chart. Sometimes Pluto can make us a little bit obsessive or kind of like just zoned in hardcore into like the topic of wherever it's traveling. So just reflect on what's been deepening. What have you been deeply interested or curious about exploring, and what direction do you want to go in with that? Are you thinking about moving in a different direction? This is the time to really reflect and review on what you want to be obsessing about, is one way to look at it. So that is the astrology for the next couple weeks. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. That helps the channel to grow. This has been a very slow growing channel. I've been doing this for like 5 years now, and I don't have too many views or subscribers, but it's just been really fun for me to do, even just for myself. So but if you are interested in a reading and seeing how this astrology relates to you personally, I'm open for consultations. Please reach out. And otherwise, I'll be back in a couple weeks with another astrological update. And I hope you have a wonderful couple weeks. Take care.